Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where I've been doing a little bit of research and it would appear that the only way to really change these guys' ethics would be to kick them from the Federation and conquer them. And bring them back into the Federation after the conquest. Now, that is an option, but it's not an option right now, and the reason for that is because we are on majority vote for kick members here. So if we were to switch this to President Decides, everyone would vote against this right now, and that would hurt our monthly cohesion. Our monthly cohesion is already pretty bad. No doubt about that. I would like to assign another envoy in here. All of our envoys are currently assigned here. Every single one of them. And I don't think we can... Can we get more envoys, perhaps, from our policies? Let's see here. Edicts. Perhaps. Diplomatic grants would give us one available envoy and 10% diplomatic weight. I'm going to drop the forge subsidies for now. I don't think that's currently necessary, and we're going to go for diplomatic grants. Wonderful. So that should get us another envoy. Let's bump this up to fastest. There we go. And we'll assign this envoy in here. So that puts our cohesion even right now. We're still losing XP because our cohesion is low. And mostly, I don't think this is going to come up by default. There are 9 envoys assigned. And we are only 6 of those. So someone else has 3 3 envoys assigned. And that's fine, but at least our cohesion isn't going down any further. We are on strongest succession type. If we switch over to succession power fleets, that doesn't actually change anything. Okay. This would reduce our monthly cohesion again. That's -4, so that's an additional -1 to monthly cohesion. Okay. Diverse ethics are imposing a 50% smaller penalty to Federation cohesion because of our Federation modifier. Is there anything else in here that we can really do? To increase our cohesion. Maybe something in our edicts? Although I don't think so. Yeah, nothing really there. Not really in our laws. I mean, one thing that we definitely want to do is deal with the Talakur League, right? And we've bumped up our diplomatic weight for sure. So that's wonderful. Unfortunately, they're still a little higher than us, and currently on majority vote, I did run a test before I started this episode, and people would not vote to kick the Talakur League from the Federation. That's not surprising, but they would not vote for that currently. Unless we were to, and we're not going to do this right now, but unless we were to bring in favors, which I don't think we could. I do not believe that we could do that. So this is definitely something that we need to deal with, right? Our Federation is currently in the process of falling apart. All we need is one additional envoy assigned. And then we'll be okay. So one more envoy. How can we get one additional envoy? There must be a way. I mean, Mercantile isn't going to do that. The diplomacy tree does give us an available envoy. We've already finished that up, though. I don't think any of this would give us an envoy. Xenophile ethics attraction, not really what we're looking for. Okay, yeah, I don't see anything there. Maybe in our policies? What would this be? Diplomatic stance? We're currently on expansionist. Let's see, supremacist would give us diplomatic weight from fleet power. That wouldn't necessarily be an awful thing. Belligerent would give us war exhaustion gain, naval cap, claim influence cost. This would give us diplomatic weight and 25% of it. Okay. I'm actually leaning towards supremacist. Yeah. Because I want that diplomatic weight from fleet power. That also puts us up over our naval cap, which would allow us to increase our Federation naval cap, but I'm not going to do that because of the cohesion issues. Now, this doesn't fix our cohesion. Don't get me wrong. But that does give us a bit more diplomatic weight. Now, I believe this is not yet updated. Correct. Now we have more diplomatic weight than the Talakar League. And actually, somebody assigned another convoy. Another envoy. Wow. These are not convoys. These are envoys. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure that's clear. We're going to go ahead and stop selling these, and we're just going to buy in about 10 minerals, just to balance our economy here. And yeah, we're capped out on a lot of these things. I'm aware of that, and there's not a lot that we can do about that, really. The Belmacosa just made a move down here. Achieved. Fascinating. So I think we're going to go for, at this point, what do we need? Army health? Army health wouldn't be awful. We can go for that. And we're losing XP right now, but our cohesion is coming up. Once that cohesion comes up for a while, then we will be solid in our cohesion, and we'll gain XP again. So we're losing about 8 XP per month, but our cohesion is coming up, and that amount will drop. So that's good. Oh, someone else assigned another envoy. Fantastic. We're now at +2. So that's looking very good. Now, we're still close enough with the Talakar League that there could be some problems still. Trade value and market fee. We're going to take, I think, the trade value because we are negative in our energy credits now. So we'll go ahead and do that, see what that ends up doing. Okay. So yeah, this is very close here now in the diplomatic weight. So currently we are on diplomatic succession, which means that we would be the next ones. Fascinating. But the Talakar League are very close in their diplomatic weight. How are they in their fleets? They are inferior to our own, so that's good. The Belmacosa have made a claim. Their tech is still considered overwhelming to ours. And the drug trade on Hokri Prime is expanding. That's actually quite not good. We're going to go to Hokri Prime here, and yeah. We're going to go ahead and do that, and we may even have to put in a decision here. Now, it bears noting that we did spend influence on changing our policy to be more diplomatic. Apparently all these ships are lost, but that's okay. And the problem with that, of course, is that we're saving up our influence, right? We're trying to build ourselves, at this point, a sentry array. So we need to save up for that, and that's fine. I'm okay with being negative in our energy credits for this exact moment. This science ship is not currently doing anything. We're going to bring that right on back to Sol. And it will assist research in the Saturn habitat. Excellent. Now, eventually we'll be able to expand these, and what do we need for that? Number of slots for new districts is equal to 0. So we need to have no districts available. Got it. That's fine. We're negative on our minerals again. This is going to be a continual fight here to keep our economy relatively balanced, but that's okay. And I'm just checking in over here. This Forge world, I would like this to be almost more of a power production world at this point. I mean, it's fine that it's a Forge world technically, but I'm going to put in an energy grid here. On this one, we're going to upgrade to a system capital complex, and that will solve that issue. And on this tech world, we currently require a job. This is really more of something that I want to have be a mining world right now. Kind of a hybrid mining and tech world. So we'll build a mining district here. That'll be fine. And we're going to be slowly changing over some of these worlds as we go by. But we need to start thinking about maybe expanding again. Now, this is the Allied Interlinked Systems up here, and the Belmacosa Enforcers, and the Synthoid Extinguishers are dying to the Allied Interlinked Systems. So there's very little expansion opportunity left, actually. We could fight this fallen empire, but I don't think there's really much point in doing that, if I'm honest. These guys are apparently missing in action, returning later this year. Okay. They're trying to invite the Awoken again. Sure. We'll allow that, and I do want to check in. We are still above the Talakur League, but not by much. Not by much at all. So yeah, these are all maxed out here, and these are menacing corvettes. We may want to create a second menacing fleet. And that's definitely something that we could do. Apparently we can't open the fleet manager for that fleet, but okay. So, fleet manager here, the 82nd Fleet would be something along the lines of... Let's see, we have menacing cruisers now that we can make. So we should probably split our existing fleet in half. We'll actually wait, I think, until all of these guys are back, which they're now back. So we're going to select all of these little fleets that were mistakenly created. Well, they're not all back yet. Some of them aren't going to be back until November. Looks like that's the latest.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
That's okay. We'll select the ones that are there for now. And we will just group all of these together into a single fleet. We do want to improve our fleet strengths because that will actually help our diplomatic weight. So that's great. We'll group all of these together. And of course there's these still. So this is mostly destroyers and corvettes. I mean, we expected that. Let's go ahead and go for minerals from jobs. That'll be important. And they will show back up soon enough. Let's go up and check our worlds here. This generator station absolutely requires a gene clinic. Fantastic. They want to invite the Awoken in. Sure, we accept. Our cohesion has come up pretty dramatically. That's great. I'm really, really happy to see this. It's not us that's fixing it, by the way. We are putting a lot of effort into it, and in fact, the majority of the effort. But our effort alone is not enough. Other Federation members clearly want this to succeed. You're not the Belmacosa. But I agree. Okay, so these guys will be back any moment now. 11:25. There we go. All of them will get grouped into the 55th Fleet, which will actually be renamed to simply the 5th Fleet. I did not do that correctly, but 5th Fleet. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the 3rd Fleet here. Apparently needs repairs. And we are going to remove... I think... Actually, let's think about this. How many corvettes do we actually want in this? There we go. How many menacing class corvettes do we actually want to put in this? Well, this was 50 and 100. We could have it be, say, 10? Or, actually, what do we have here for cruisers? 10. I want this to be, like, 20. And then 40, and then 40, perhaps? Technically, the corvettes are more powerful than the destroyers and cruisers. That's kind of funny. But I do want these to be split up a little bit. Let's take a quick look at the design here. Now, that should be okay. Yeah, I think that's good. So, in that case, we're going to need to, of course, modify the other fleet. So that is this fleet here. We're going to need to transfer ships, and we will transfer out some 10 destroyers. I think I transferred too many. I did indeed. Okay, I'm going to transfer out some 10 destroyers. There we go. And then we're going to transfer a bunch of corvettes. So let's transfer all the corvettes for right now. And then I want to create a new fleet with these guys and select the fleet. Let's just have all of them just sit here for now. Okay. I want to click to create a new fleet with these ships and select the new fleet. Okay. Well, I just want to transfer all of these out. And then we'll split that in half, like so. And then this fleet, the 7th fleet here, is going to join in the 5th fleet. I think. This is 50. This is more corvettes than we need. Okay, so we're going to transfer out some... Let's see, we need 22 in total. So we're going to do something like that. We'll deselect these guys. Or no, deselect these guys. And we'll merge them together like that. Okay, so that's the 5th fleet having all of its corvettes. Okay. Now, the 8th fleet here, this is a lot of corvettes. And we need 40 of those over here. So I'm just going to split it in half. And we're going to move these 39 into the 3rd fleet. Like that. Okay. So the 3rd fleet has its corvettes. Or most of its corvettes. We want the 3rd fleet here. And we want to take this down to 40. And then we want to take this down to 40. And then we want to add in our cruisers. Not the auto cruisers. We want to add in the Chancellorville class cruisers. And 20 of those. Something like that. Now, here's the question. Why are we doing this when we could just fill it entirely with corvettes? It's an interesting question, but the corvettes are a lot more delicate than these bigger ships. Yeah, they have 90% evasion, but they still get wrecked on a very, very regular basis. So that's something we need to consider. So the 3rd fleet now has need of its cruisers. We need one more corvette here, and we're going to go ahead and split off one corvette. Move that into the 3rd fleet, like so. So now all it needs is its corvettes, or rather its cruisers. And then the 5th fleet here, that one has all of its corvettes coming in. The 6th fleet has some destroyers, so that's going to merge with the 5th fleet. And that will bring us up to 22 destroyers. And then the 7th fleet is merging with the 5th fleet, and then all of these corvettes here may actually form a 6th fleet. And then that would, of course, be 40. And then we would add in the Menacing class destroyers, 40 of those. And then the cruisers, 20 of those, like that. Now, this is not an accurate number up here. I'm going to send this 6th fleet, for temporary sake, over to Seoul. Okay. So we'll see how that all shakes out before we start hitting that reinforce fleet button. Because that will certainly be interesting. So we are reorganizing our fleets a little bit here. We're at 251 total influence, so that is definitely good to know. This factory world, we will go ahead and do what on? Just build another industrial district, I guess. I guess it'll have to do. This agri world needs jobs. I think we're going to give it a generator district here. And that should, in theory, be fine. Or do we want a city district? No, I think we want a generator district. I think that would give us too much housing. So that should be fine. We require additional, or we have additional housing available. We can build buildings here. We need housing on this world. And this is a tech world, so we'll simply put in a city district. Now, this is maxed on its crime. That's a lot of crime. Unfortunately, not a whole lot we can do about that. Not right now. Very, very unfortunate indeed. So the third fleet is, of course, just chilling at Bivum. And this fleet, we know for a fact, requires its cruisers. So we're just going to hit that reinforce fleet button and start pumping those menacing cruisers out. Fantastic. Fleet is already at full strength. Is that really 20? That's 14 and 6. So yeah, that is indeed 20. Excellent. We're going to need additional minerals. There we go. So those will get pumped out, and absolutely no problem there. And this 6th fleet here is, of course, going to be set up like this. But we're not really ready to do that just yet. How's our diplomatic weight looking? We have exceeded the Talakur League pretty heavily at this point in diplomatic weight. Unfortunately, somebody pulled their envoys back. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Well, hopefully we can get that sorted. I would like to get additional envoys. Certain civics, buildings, Federation perks, and building an interstellar assembly can give you additional envoys. Well, maybe we should just change our plans then and build our interstellar assembly next. We weren't planning to do that, but we were planning to build one eventually. And yeah, actually, I think this is a good idea. We're going to be able to start construction on that next month, and that will solve our issues. Excellent. So we're going to put that in orbit, I think, around this gas giant. Up in the L cluster. Fantastic. So the third fleet is getting its reinforcements. They will be up here eventually, in theory. Now they're going to take some time to get there, but that's fine. The 5th fleet, I believe, has all of what it's going to have right now, right? Or are we still moving things in? We may still be moving some units in. Not 100% on that. At any rate, we would need 9 corvettes here. So let's do something like this. And do that. Okay. I messed that up. These are destroyers. Okay. Those are destroyers that we want. So we want to grab corvettes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to merge that back in with the 6th fleet, of course. There we go. And the 5th fleet here, we are, of course, going to bring this back down to 40. There we go. And let's just get those destroyers, rather, queued up. And the cruisers, I think we probably queued some of them. Yeah, some of them. That's fine. And I'm going to bump this up to 70. Excellent. We will, of course, have absolutely no trouble pumping these units out. None at all. We're at 752, 778.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
That's a lot more than I expected. I'm going to disband the 6th fleet at this time to back off on the fleet, or rather on the naval cap a bit. Energy credits from jobs, sure, that's always good to have. We're going to do that again because we're negative in energy credits right now. And the 5th fleet is still working on getting some of its cruisers, but we have all of its menacing class corvettes. There's a pitched gang battle on Trappist Tertius, which is unfortunate indeed. So the 3rd fleet is still being reinforced, and that's counting towards our naval cap. So how much more do we actually need for our naval cap? This is still saying 1541. That number is not accurate. Because it's counting these fleets, which really shouldn't even exist. So I'm just going to clean these up.
Breakthrough achieved.
And we need the 1st fleet, the Husk Squadron, which... yeah, that's correct. That's a Federation fleet. I don't know why that's actually counted here. The 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th fleets. And the Husk Squadron. Yes. Really, this should probably be the 4th fleet. because the other is a Federation fleet as well. And then this one should be renamed. I wish there was a randomize button here, but this is the second Federation fleet. Okay. And I guess I'll call this one the first Federation fleet. Excellent. The Space Amoeba Protection Act. Okay, yeah, we'll comply with that. Space amoebas also get healthcare, so that's fine. And we're going to, I think, grab ourselves admin cap next. Wonderful. Okay, we're back to gaining cohesion. That's great. The Telecur League has boosted their diplomatic weight a bit, but I think the Interstellar Assembly is going to fix that problem in its entirety, is my guess. When will we arrive with the reinforcements for the third fleet? Here in another 2 years, so that'll be a while. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to probably declare another war. The question is on whom? You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.